Psychic detective Carol Pate was called to a murder investigation in South Bend, Indiana. Over the telephone, she made a series of startling statements that convinced one police officer of Carol's psychic gift. Her initial impressions were so encouraging. Sightings has sent Carol to South Bend so she can see, touch, and feel the actual crime scene. From Indiana, Carla Waltz.
What's known as psychometry, and that's holding a ring or a watch, a personal object. So if I hold a victim's, say, ring or photograph, I then can become one with the victim. I see what the victim sees, thus recreating the crime.
I've worked with psychics in the past. I do have a belief that some people have an ability that maybe you and I don't possess. I do believe that there are some that have that ability.
No pain. No suffering, just a blow.
On August 25th, 1990, 3 employees at this Osco drugstore in South Bend, Indiana, were shot to death during a robbery. For the community, the investigating of the victim, the anguish still lingers. 5 years after the murders, the man police South Bend residents believe is the killer is still walking the streets, a free man, because there just isn't enough evidence to convict him.
It hurts to even go back and think about it. See, all these people were just, in a matter of minutes, it was over.
Store manager Scott Dick, clerk Connie Zalewski, and pharmacist Tracy Holvet were all shot at point-blank range just before the store opened for business.
What about the cameras? There were cameras in this store.
Cameras had been in place in the store, but apparently there was a malfunction. They weren't operational at the time this occurred. Hopefully that's what Carol Pate will do. Maybe Carol Pate will be our camera.
Lead Detective Sergeant D. Michael Swanson agreed to work with psychic Carol Pate because after 5 frustrating years on the case, any lead is better than no lead at all.
I came into this cold. I didn't know anything. The only thing, I knew there was a victim. I knew it was an Osco drug store. That's all. And that's the way I like to work a case. That way I know that what I pick up, if it comes through correctly, then it's accurate information.
So Detective Swanson didn't tell Carol about the mysterious female accomplice he believes may be the key to cracking the case.
Evidence indicates that we had more than one suspect. And, obviously, we've been told that there's a female in the store. We have a witness that sees a female in the store we believe is acting as an accomplice. It's been the biggest mystery of this case for 5 years. Who is this woman?
It's a question the victims' families want and need answered.
What would it mean to you and to your family to be able to bring someone to justice?
I think it would help. I mean, there's no doubt our family is going to have, you know, this hanging over our heads the rest of our life. It's not going to go away, because when he shot her, he might as well have shot all of us.
Carol came in cold after the store had closed. She clutched personal items the victims' families had provided to police and used these to develop psychic impressions of the crime spree.
We're in the right direction. I feel that the man that did this, he knew the store. He knew it very well. He may have worked there. He's angry at the young man now. He's really angry at the young man.
We're talking about a suspect we believe that they worked for this company in this particular store.
A former manager of the store?
That's correct. Yeah.
Who was fired?
Yeah, basically he was fired. He was asked to resign under circumstances which would have been forced to be fired if he hadn't.
Unknown to Carol, 2 of the victims died on this very spot in front of the pharmacy.
I'm getting a dropping down. It feels like a victim's energy, and it feels like a dropping down. Separation. Tracy recognized the man, and at first she felt friendly, and then all of a sudden she was shot.
that point, we think that they just basically walked into what was going on, and were murdered because of the fact they were there and had seen who was involved in it.
Then inside this 14,000 square foot store, Carol stopped in the exact location where the third victim had died.
I'm getting a whole lot of trauma going on in here. And it feels like death.
She was able to focus in on the locations of where the victims were found. The rear story of the storage area, the hallway or the runway, which she described as a runway area, we think played a significant part. We think there may have been, the suspect may have encountered one or both of our females back in that particular area of the store.
Carol then seemed to pick up on the one key element that police believe may lead them to a conviction.
There is a female with this man. She goes back down to the front. She's checking to see if anyone's heard anything, because of gunshots. I get them getting money. They did get money.
In fact, $6,000 was taken from the safe. Carol's remarkable accuracy convinced Detective Swanson that it was more than a lucky guess.
Okay, she's coming in.
Carol sat with a police sketch artist and described in detail the woman she saw in her mind's eye. The South Bend Police Department has asked Sightings not to reveal the sketch of the female accomplice until they can follow up on all of Carol's startling leads.
The sketch itself, names that she may come up with, locations, we're going to look at those as potential leads. We're going to follow those and see if we can, in fact, develop something off of something she's given us.
The family wants to know what happened in that store. Maybe we'll never know, but we want to.
A reward of $100,000 is being offered for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the South Bend killer. If you have information important to this case, please contact the South Bend, Indiana Police Department.